Breaking news. Okay, it's impact of Anil Ambani scam report. SFIO commences probe in the case. SFIO has commenced a probe into entities linked to Anil Ambani Group, and the MCA has asked SFIO probe alleged corporate governance issues and financial irregularities. Roles of banks, auditors to be investigated, directors, promoters to be summoned in due course. So SFIO commences investigation into Anil Ambani Group. This is the bank fraud case. Viewers, Anil Ambani, the situation only getting grimmer for Anil Ambani. More trouble for Anil Ambani's Reliance Group. And this is a probe. Already we see the government has launched a probe. The Corporate Affairs Ministry, SFIO, to probe the charges. So this is a fresh setback coming in for Anil Ambani. Government launching a fraud probe into the Reliance Group. That's the breaking news we have right now, viewers. So the SFIO is actually Serious Fraud Investigation Office, statutory agency in India tasked with investigating corporate fraud. So the government now is now investigating this case, this corporate fraud, this loan scam, and this is the latest update we have. Senior editor Shravan Sen joins us live on the broadcast from the newsroom. Shravan, well, the woes are mounting for Anil Ambani. Now the SFIO has launched a probe into the fraud.
Well, in fact, along with the Enforcement Directorate, the SFIO will also be carrying out a further investigation. This would be under the Companies Act. What we are given to understand is that a preliminary inquiry was essentially done. Based on the preliminary report, the SFIO will be looking into whether at all there have been further violations of the Companies Act, particularly with the diversion of funds that has actually taken place. Now, it's important to highlight that there have been certain diversion of funds, particularly funds that have actually come in from the banks as loans, starting with Yes Bank in the year 2017 and 2019. Between 2017 and 2019, this loan was further diverted to related entities. Now, that is the reason why, remember, they suspect that there has been siphoning of funds. This very tranche of loan was thereafter again used to pay some of the old loans. So it does not end with 2019. Thereafter, loans that were secured from the State Bank of India, Bank of Baroda, and a list of other such loans that are coming in, this was basically being diverted to other companies. That is where the serious fraud investigation is actually going to take place. This would be under the Companies Act. It certainly means more trouble for Anil Ambani linked entities at this point in time, because you have the Enforcement Directorate freezing the assets of Anil Ambani, which includes 40 such properties worth about 7,500 crore rupees, and the fact that, remember, the lenders were essentially taken for a jolly good ride by Anil Ambani by flouting certain rules and regulations. The very fact that despite weak financials, you've essentially had Anil Ambani companies actually getting the further loan from these banks raises some very serious questions.
Right. So the ED case revolves around the loans raised by this group, but you're telling me now that this investigation, the fresh investigation that has been now ordered, goes back to a lot more aspects, and it goes into a deeper investigation that seems to even greater trouble for Anil Ambani, Shravan.
Well, there wouldn't be much of a punitive action if you really look at it from the SFIO point of view, because there are limited, punitive action that the SFIO can really take at this stage. But remember, this comes at a time when SEBI has also launched a full-fledged investigation based on SEBI's report that the Enforcement Directorate and the Central Bureau of Investigation had basically carried out a full-fledged investigation. Right now, the worry for Anil Ambani linked companies would be only from the Enforcement Directorate, because in the coming few months, it is expected that the Enforcement Directorate would be filing the prosecution complaint, which is essentially a charge sheet that is going to be filed. Anil Ambani has already been called in for questioning by the Enforcement Directorate. In the coming few days, perhaps it is also the SFIO intensifying their investigation. They would also be looking at this aspect.
All right. Many thanks, Shravan, for joining us with those details coming in. Republic TV getting you that big breaking news as the SFIO has now commenced probe into the case. Now, going back to viewers, the top 6 stories of the day we're tracking for you. It's a diplomatic controversy. It has erupted